Welcome aboard the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon podcast, where we're dedicated to helping first time and experienced boaters find the right boat at the best price and ensure all boaters have years and years of happy boating fun because life truly is better on a boat. Today's podcast is sponsored by the best boat captain on the water training. It takes the stress, frustration, and swearing out of those dockings and other tough situations so you can have total control of your boat or pontoon. Visit bestboatcaptainonthewater.com for a short video and all the details. Now, let's hop aboard and have some fun. Welcome to the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon. I'm your host, Captain Matt, and today we're here with Val from Get My Boat, and it's an exciting opportunity. Val, thanks for joining us here today.
Thanks so much for having me.
So let everybody know a little bit about what Get My Boat is and how you all got started and how long you've been doing your peer-to-peer rentals.
Sure. So, Get My Boat first launched in 2013 in San Francisco. It started when our co founders, who are boating enthusiasts themselves, were out on the water and they noticed so many boats sitting in marina slips, they're not being used, as well as their knowledge of there are so many people who want to have access to boating experiences, but potentially don't have a friend with a boat or don't know how to rent one. So they wanted to make the joys of boating more accessible. Get My Boat now is the world's largest boat rental and water experience marketplace with over 140,000 options spread across 184 countries around the world. We make it really easy to find and rent boats right on your phone, or if you're a boat owner or a captain, to list your boats with us to find renters to rent from you.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And as we talked about before we started recording, is our community. A lot of them are newer boaters just looking for unbiased information. So I think there's both sides of the business I want to talk about in almost two separate conversations. One of the, and I've actually talked about you all, and I've talked to Boat Setter as well, and they've participated in another interview we did. But I see it as for boat shoppers, it's an excellent opportunity to go test out a boat, go actually use it for a day and see if that's the style, the type that you like, if boating's for you. And then you have the other side, which is, man, I can offset my boating expense or even, make a profit. I've got a former client of mine that has his pontoon on your platform, and he has it as a business opportunity, really. He's semi-retired, and that's one of the ways he spends his time and makes some money. So which one would you like to start with?
Yeah, either side. The first thing you kind of mentioned, I think, is super interesting and a reason to rent with us that's not always in the forefront of people's minds for people who actually do want to invest and own a boat, to try out different styles, different makes and models of boats. It's a great way to sample exactly what it is that you're looking for and to see if it actually would be for you, renting it for an entire day instead of just looking at the boat at a boat show or in a showroom, to really get an idea of what it would feel like to own that boat for yourself and take it out on the water. I think it's a fantastic reason to rent.
Yeah, I think there's something significantly different between a 15-minute boat ride on a demo with a salesperson and going out. And it's one reason I love your hired captains, because if you're a little nervous about it, hey, get a boat and bring a captain. Have somebody to run that boat for you that is competent, and you can learn a little bit as well. But that experience, it hasn't been available until this concept came along that, oh, I can go run a jet boat, or I can run a Tri-Toon and see if that's the style we like, or do we like boating at all. It's advice I give quite a bit when I do our lives on Sunday afternoon or Sunday evening. What do you see as the biggest opportunity for you all with your rentals? Who are the people that are renting them most of the time? Do you have an idea of that?
I would say the most commonly rented boats are going to be those people who want to rent once or twice in the summer with, groups of their friends and family. Captain boat charters are the most commonly booked experience on our platform, which is great because for people who don't have boating experience, it gives them safe access to the water. For a boat captain, it's giving them, professional charters and, more customers. So I would say pontoons as well as wakeboard boats, boats for water sports are super popular. And those are also a super popular boat for people to rent to try out for themselves if they're looking to buy, because there's so many different styles of wake boats. And if you're a water sports enthusiast, you might want to try out a couple different ones to see which one you like the best. So I would say those are the more commonly booked experiences on our platform.
Yeah, and the with the captains, do you all require them to be licensed to have their six pack or whatever is required for the type of boat that they're running?
Correct. Yeah, all captains have to follow the local laws and regulations. So if the US, it's the Coast Guard, Canada has their own separate rules, and then there's different rules by, cities and municipalities as well. It's required that they comply with all local regulations.
Yeah, so I think for boat shoppers, the platform it's a great opportunity and it's really easy to check. You can download the app for free. Is that correct, Val?
Correct. It's available for iOS and Android, and it's completely free to not only download the app, but then also for captains to list their boats. We only take a fee when a booking is made.
Okay. Okay. Perfect. So if you're a boat shopper and you're trying to decide is boating right for us, is this style right for us, for whatever, depending on the type of boat, for 3, 4, 5, $600, you can have a full day on the water and experience it for yourself instead of making a 50, 75, $200,000 investment. You can dip your toe in the water, have a great time no matter what, and then make a smarter choice. So let's jump over to the other side as well, because you've got your supply and demand in the platform. The renters, I think it's a great opportunity for shoppers. But what about people that are buying a boat or already have a boat and they say, maybe I can offset some of the expense or even make a business out of it. I assume you have some folks doing that.
Yes, definitely. And like you said, it's all sorts of different scenarios where we do have a couple owners who they know that if they rent out their boat 5 or 6 times during the season, it completely covers all of their expenses. And then that's it. That's all they do, just so that their boat is not draining them financially. And then we have many other captains who take it a step further and they will, rent it out multiple times to turn it into a profitable business. It's really incredible to see some stories. We have even stories of people who quit their 9 to 5 jobs. Maybe they were laid off during the pandemic and they transitioned to being full time boat captains. They would went and got their Coast Guard license and then started running charters full time. So it's all sorts of different opportunities, as well as for established boat charter companies. So the companies that maybe are already existing and working on a lake, it's a great way for them to get those extra customers. They get the benefits of us advertising for them, managing their bookings. We have a customer service team that will help them. So it's just a great way for them to also just access more people. I think for younger generations, using things like an app to book things is a lot more natural for them. It's an easier way for them to find those sorts of experiences. So it's a great way for boat rental companies to sort of keep up with the technology and the shifting trends in consumer habits.
And you can do it as a consumer, you can do it on an app or on a computer. You have both options because I've used your service before as well, and it's super easy. I mean, you go, you say, "Here's where I'm going to be. These are the type of boats that I'm looking for," and you're like, "Okay." Just send in the inquiry. It's VRBO or Airbnb. It's that same. It works virtually the same way, and I found it to be super easy the times that I've used the platform.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that's our goal, is to just make the process as seamless as possible to help people just connect directly with boat owners, captains, and book those experiences without the headache. Just making it as easy as possible to get on the water.
Yeah. Now on the back end, if you are looking to rent your boat, tell us a little bit about that. The functionality that's there, the type of money that people can make, and what's involved as a, hey, maybe this is something I would consider. What kind of steps should they go through, and what things should they be aware of?
For sure. So, for any boat owner looking to list their boat on the platform, it's a pretty easy process. We have a sales team that will help you set up an account, create your boat listings. You have so much control as the boat captain or owner where you can set your own schedule and availability. We have a really robust calendar feature that lets you, if you only want your boat to be available certain days of the week, that's fine. You set your own prices, upload photos, and from there, it's just we'll walk you through the steps of replying to inquiries. So the first one you ever get from a renter, so you know how to properly respond. And we have a team that makes sure that you are aware of everything that's going on with your boat listings, as well as any inquiries that are coming in. Our customer service team is awesome, and they'll help owners with every step of the way. And then it's pretty easy to use. So once you get used to the platform, it's pretty intuitive. But yeah, there's no fee that's taken to join, so it's completely free to list as many boats as you want. And if you didn't get an inquiry, it's not like you're going to be charged to be on the platform. So we only take a 8.5% booking fee, and that's only when a booking is made, confirmed, and paid for.
And you handle all of the credit card transaction and all of that piece. Now, what about insurance? I understand you have an insurance option as well, to make sure that that outing is covered. Is that how it works?
So there is insurance available through a partner on our platform that boat owners and captains can definitely use. They have some great rates, but they are also welcome to use their own insurance too. We don't require that captains buy our particular insurance. It's their responsibility to check with their policy. So if they're providing charters, to make sure that it covers charters. There's a ton of different types of boat insurance options. But we do have an option to purchase for bareboat and charter coverage if captains or owners are interested in that.
Yeah, that it's something that your normal insurance, your pleasure boat insurance policy probably wouldn't cover that almost commercial or rental use. So make sure you're smart about that and that you have it covered. And I'm sure you have some checks and balances in place for that type of thing.
Yeah, and our sales team can help provide people with resources and point them in the right direction if they're not totally sure what their coverage or their policy looks like, and provide some ideas on what they could potentially switch to as well.
Val, like what type of numbers are you looking at? You said over, I think, 100,000 boats available to rent around the world. What type of, did I get that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
140,000,
Okay. I was like,
yeah.
that was in my back of my head somewhere. What about, like, what type of leads do you bring in? What type of rental opportunities? It's obviously doesn't cost anything until you have your boat rented and you're making money. And then you just take a small portion of that. But what kind of numbers? Because if you Google boat rentals in pretty much any area, you guys are going to pop up there. What type of numbers can people look at?
It really depends on your location in the season. For example, we have some captains in Miami who are making well over six figures with Get My Boat, but then, there's smaller locations where you're going to be limited by seasons. I'm personally in Minnesota, and there's boating season is not right now, I can tell you that much. um, so it really depends, and the captains, you have that ability to set your own prices and sort of work with the market. So you can somewhat control your income that way. I would say during the busy season, during the summer months, um, I don't know. I mean, averages could be anywhere from an extra $1,000 a month to over $10,000 a month. It just depends on the location, and it also depends on the individual captain or owner how much they want to rent out their boat. But I guess the best statistic I could give is that example of a couple owners that we have where if they just want to offset the cost of their boat, about six rentals in a season will do that, and then
Okay.
anything above that, they're earning a profit, which is exciting.
Yeah, yeah, that's fantastic. And I guess it's easy enough to go on if you just want to poke around, and if you're considering it, go into your area and search for boat rentals in your lake or the area that you're in, the waterway or the city, and it'll pull up all of the boats and just list it. You can sort by style, you can sort by price, you can sort by, is there a captain available or can they take it out on their own? and you can probably get a pretty good sense based on the number of boats and what the prices are. And I'm just guessing here, but I would think that 6 rentals a year is pretty easy to come by.
Definitely. Yeah, we've seen insane demand. It really started in 2020 with the pandemic where people wanted outdoor activities. I think everyone feels safer outside on a boat. You can social distance from crowds, be with just your family, and boats are also regularly cleaned and sanitized. And boating has really boomed in popularity. So, especially if you're in a hot location for boat rentals, I would expect lots of inquiries to start coming in as it gets warmer, definitely.
And again, it doesn't cost anything to list it. So if you just want to, dip your whole foot in the water instead of just your toe, search and then start a listing. Put your boat out there and see what comes in. Because I think for a number of people out there, this can be a nice opportunity. And you also have, I know when I've used the platform, I have to answer the question of my boating experience. Have I taken boater safety courses? And so it's not just open open to the general public. Does the boat owner have control over who they rent it to and who they don't?
Yes, so we do give them the full discretion on who they rent to. It is their boat. A lot of times, if it's a situation where a renter has no boating experience, our customer service team is going to guide them down the route of a captain charter and not a boat rental, just to make sure that everyone is safe on the water. But yes, you can answer those preemptive questions, and then the boat owner, in many cases, will, when they meet you at the docks to give you the keys, will show you, tutorial of your boat, all the features that you need to know about, where safety equipment is located, and everything like that. And yeah, it's a great way to get an idea of everything you would need to know on the boat. But yes, to answer your question, boat owners do have full discretion over who they rent to.
Yeah, and being having the opportunity to captain your own boat and take folks out could be for the right personality type, could be a lot of fun. We had a conversation in our US Boat Expo with um, the owner of Sea School, and they offer captains training courses. You can do it online, you can do it in person, and for 500-600 bucks, you can get the education needed to then go get in the U.S. the U.S. Coast Guard captain's license, your 6 pack, and you can do that for well under $1,000, and maybe 2 weekends of your time. So I think that's an option that I would strongly consider if I was putting my boat out there. And like I said, it could be fun for the right personality type.
Definitely. We've seen some really inspiring stories from captains who have gotten to be a part of people's special moments like proposals on the water, engagement parties, bachelorette parties, things like that. And I think that they really love sharing those moments with people. Like you said, it is for certain personality types for sure. But if you are, someone who loves to have fun, everyone's going on the water to have fun, right? Like, it can be a really great opportunity for a lot of people as a side hustle or even a retirement job, depending on your scenario.
Yeah, I did. That was several months ago now, but I did a podcast interview with the guy that was shopping for, a $200,000 35 to 45 foot cruiser up in Manhattan. He was a retired cop up there. Actually, he may have still been active, but was looking to do this in retirement. And one of the things he wanted to do was, take people out on his wife had a wine business, and take people out on a wine tour of Manhattan, go see the Statue of Liberty and all that. And I said that's something that works perfect for this type of platform, where that's going to allow you to increase it. It's going to allow you to offset the cost of ownership. It's going to help you build another business. Are those type of I don't know what you would call them, events almost, or special occasions? Is that something that you all promote?
Definitely, yeah. It's a super popular reason to rent a boat. Special occasions, things like milestone birthdays, anniversaries, all sorts of things like that are a great reason to rent a boat. And it's interesting you mentioned that he wanted to do that in concordance with his wife's wine business because we're seeing that more and more as well. Of some of our boat captains partnering with like local catering organizations or
Yeah.
small, small food vendors and things like that to provide unique food cruises, wine cruises, cocktail cruises. So it's not only an awesome way that we're helping people in the boating business in that industry, but also that can have, more effects on other industries as well, because if there's a demand to go on the water, people get hungry. So, you want to have food or different entertainment options. So that's been a really cool thing to see as well.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you're looking to do it to offset your expenses or even as a business, the more value you can deliver. And I was as I was talking to him, I said, "Hey, listen, Ronald, if I'm up in New York and I've got the opportunity to have somebody captain me around and take my family out for an on-water tour of the Statue of Liberty and see the skyline from a different perspective, and you've got somebody that knows wine, I mean, that adds up the value pretty quickly and a pretty awesome experience to share with other folks and introduce them to boating while you're at it.
Yeah, definitely. I would 100% book that experience
Yeah,
if I was in New York.
exactly. So
It's an easy sell.
I told him when you get the boat, I'm going to call you because I'm going to come up and I'm going to get that experience from you. So be ready. But so okay, Val. So let's say somebody's interested in doing this. Where do they go? How do they get started? And what other things should they think about?
For people who are looking to list their boats with
Yeah,
us?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you can always just send an email to our sales team, sales@getmyboat.com, to have an account manager walk you through the process. But we have a lot of resources on our website that can explain just all aspects and things you could expect with listing your boat with us. Or you can just create an account and just go from there. It walks you through the process step by step of creating your listings, uploading the photos, and all the details that you need. We have a 24/7 customer service team that can also help. I think it's a great thing to look into for any boat owner, boat captain, or boat charter company to looking forward to the summer season, getting ahead on of the game as far as leveling up different ways to market your boat, having access to new customers. Like I said, it's a very low risk. We take no fee to have an account, so you're not going to lose any money there. It's just a great way to get started.
So how do you all I mentioned boat setter. How do you all differ, or is it really just a matter of the inventory of boats that you have, or is there an area you specialize in? Is there much difference there between the two?
We have by far the largest inventory of any boat rental company. I know that we take the lowest fees in the industry. Our whole mantra is just helping captains keep as much money of their own as possible. We don't want to take too many fees. Um, just a lot more access to more customers, I think, is also a benefit of having a more widespread boating company. We're going to be operating in more locations around the United States. I think that boat setter is concentrated primarily in Florida. So yeah, just having access to more like international as well as nationally based options is a great advantage to working with us.
And you're located you're in Minnesota, but the corporate office, is that still in San Francisco? Is that where you all
Yeah, technically the company headquarters is in San Francisco, but we have employees scattered all around the US, Canada, as well as internationally too. We're a very remote-based company, which is awesome.
Yeah, advantages of being a tech company in the boating industry is it doesn't really matter where you are. That works fantastic.
Yeah.
Uh, so anything else, Val, that I didn't ask you about that I probably should have, or that you want to share with the audience that may be of interest to them?
I think as far as things that people should know, well, if you're looking to rent a boat for the 2022 season, definitely start looking now. It's pretty crazy how busy weekends are already booking up, like 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend. People are really looking forward to getting outside again, I think. And for boat captains and owners, I would say just give it a try. We have a great team that will walk you through each step of the process, get your boats uploaded and listed. If it doesn't work out for you, there's no penalties to cancel your account, no worries there. And it could be a really great option for growing either a side hustle business or growing your own boat rental business in the new year.
Yeah, and let me ask you, if I'm a captain, can I run other boats as well in addition to mine? Can you match them up that way as well?
Um, I'm not totally sure if I understand. Do you mean like?
So if I'm a captain and I don't
Mhm.
have a boat to put on there, can I put my
Oh.
services on there to run somebody else's boat?
Currently not.
Okay.
I think it has to be the boat owner who lists, but there are scenarios of that where we have boat owners who will provide renters with a list of their preferred captains. So
Okay.
you would want to make a connection with a boat owner, in your community, and so that they can have experience with you on their boat, and then they'll provide you as an option to renters to contact you when the renter rents their boat. They can provide you as a captain option for them.
Perfect. I'm
Mhm.
thinking about the scenario where I can't make it that weekend, but I don't. I want to offer that as a captain service. That's the only way I want to rent it. Is there somebody that can step in? So that makes perfect sense. Well, Val, I think this is a great service that you all are offering. The concept I think makes a lot of sense on both sides of it. Hopefully, if you're looking at buying a boat, just go check it out. And if you can't find the boat that you're looking for at a dealer, you're not sure, you're going back and forth between, do we want a center console or do we want a dual console? Hey, go ahead and spend the day on the water, and it will quickly be apparent to you which is the right way to go. And it's so easy to find them. The service is really, really easy to use on the computer or the app. And if you're looking to offset the expense of boating, if you're looking just to have a little bit of fun and make some side money or even a full-time income, um, you know, you've got a great asset that right now is very, very hot. And I think this is an opportunity that makes sense for a group of people. So, Val, thanks for sharing the opportunity. Thanks for kind of educating everybody about this, and I look forward to myself using your service down the line.
Thank you so much for having me.
Let's pull up the anchor and run this podcast back to the docks. We'll be back again with another helpful and fun episode next time. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, visit boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/guest, and I'll help offer insights into your boat research and shopping experience. Also, we'd appreciate it if you took just 2 minutes to rate and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. It helps others find us so we can help more boaters. By the way, if you already own a boat and experience a little stress handling your boat or pontoon in some situations, visit bestboatcaptainonthewater.com for a quick video and all the details. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with a few first-time boating tips for when you own your new boat. Number one, know your local boating laws, basic navigation rules, and how to operate your boat safely. It'll make boating even more fun for everyone. Two, be aware of your wake at all times and pay attention to no wake zones because you are responsible for your wake. When maneuvering at slow speeds, you can put out an enormous wake. If going slow, be courteous, save some fuel, and drop down to idle speed, just in forward gear to ensure there is no wake. This could save you an expensive ticket and will keep you from being that guy on your waterway. Number three, boats do not have headlights. They have docking lights, specifically made for seeing in tight quarters and docking. Do not turn your docking lights on while cruising down the water. It can blind other boaters and is very dangerous, and again, could save you an expensive ticket. Number four, follow the maintenance schedule for your boat. Change the oil, impeller, gear lube, winterize if you need to winterize in your area. Inspect your trailer tires, bearings, and grease the hubs if you're a trailer boater to ensure you don't experience expensive and unnecessary repairs that will impact your boating time. Number five, always double check your plug is in, your battery is charged, and the fuel is full before heading out for a day on the water. It could just save your boating day. And if you're a trailer boater, I've got a few extra tips. Number one, at the boat ramp, prepare your boat, your gear, and your guests in the staging area. Then, when you're ready, back down the ramp, unload the boat, head to the parking lot, and right back down to your boat to be fast and courteous to your fellow boaters and don't tie up that ramp unnecessarily. Next, use transom tie-down straps when trailing your boat. Very bad things can happen if you don't, and they do happen. 3, check everything in the boat is secure before heading down the road. Seat cushions, gear, keys, towels, even tubes and lily pads can get blown out when pulling your boat down the highway or interstate. And most important, have fun. Enjoy your boat and get on the water as much as possible, because life truly is better on a boat. Until next time, this is your friend in boating, Captain Matt.